reassembly of this engine. There's absolutely no need to unsolder the pickup strips from the motor if you're just shorting out the links when replacing or removing the DCC chip. That's very straightforward. Just remove the body from the chassis with one screw, which you'll see during the assembly. But what I want to do is isolate the rolling chassis from everything else, and that really rolls quite nicely, suggesting that if there is a mechanical problem, it's not actually intrinsically in the chassis itself. It could well be in the meshing between the motor and the chassis, and I'm going to investigate that now. I need to feed those wires down through there. There are a couple of places I could have unsoldered it. I just unsoldered the black wires dangling down through the bottom. There's only one screw that holds the motor on. You have to mesh the motor with the gear and slide some pips on the motor into part of the chassis casting. There is, I'm going to tip the bits out of this truck into the glass jar. That was silly. I've confused all the screws. There's a plastic piece, which is a packing piece, which goes under there, and then one screw, which I'm going to put in. I'm going to pause the video while I actually jiggle the motor into position. There are two aspects to jiggling the motor into position. There are lugs at the very front edge of the casting supporting the motor, which fit into slots in the side frames of the chassis. And at the same time you're getting enmeshment between the worm gear and the drive cog on the wheels. You've at the same time got to get these black wires down through the gap in the chassis, keeping it clear of the moving parts and cogs, and making sure it doesn't get trapped between the two. There is a slot for them. There's a plastic packing piece, which I believe just goes under there, under the back of the motor, and then a screw which goes down to the top. And this is where you need lots of tools, because there are different size heads on these screws. Have I managed, remarkably, to get that screw through those two holes? You know what? That screw went in too well, didn't it? I think I picked up the wrong one, which is why I was not happy that I tipped the screws all into that plastic box, because I mixed them up. And I think it may look more like a self-tapping screw. And that's it, a single screw fixes the motor in place. So at that stage then, we have the motor fixed back onto the chassis, having checked that there was free movement, therefore no mechanical catching to stop it. I can do a quick test now before we connect the base plate, just to see if it all runs freely.